Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in a building, baby. We going to the top and we're going to bring others with us. So please become a part of Notification Squad, Peep Squad. Hit that notification bell. Know each and every time I drop a video. So let's talk about Love and Hip Hop, New York Season 10, Episode 2. It's going down. It seems like Yandy and Chrissy ain't gonna get along. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. They can't even have like a cordial conversation about anything. So they start off their new conversation meeting up after like 8 years talking about the past. Basically, Chrissy could have just said, "Listen, Yandy, I apologize for my behaviors in the past. Can we move forward? And do you do the same?" And Yandy could have said yes or no, and they could have walked away. But they don't like each other. It is what it is. Yandy don't like the way that Chrissy treated her back in the day. She feel like Chrissy didn't want to see her glow up. So it is what it is. Basically, Chrissy was like, you was doing too much for your britches. Like, you was doing too much, telling Jim Jones how he can spend money, this and that. He can do this if he can buy me this, if he can buy me that. Like, and then talking about checks. Like, you was doing way too much. And that's what Chrissy is saying to Yandy. Like, you kind of like overstepped your friendship bound to the business bound boundaries and added up together. It was just way too much, and it is what it is. And Yandy was like, I was only, the accountants will call me and tell me that these bills need to be paid and this and that. And so Yandy would tell Jim, you can't buy this, you can't buy that yet, because you got to pay these bills, you got to be up on paying your bills and everything like that. And it seems like Yandy was doing her job because Jim Jones was financially sound at the time, but he was hot too in the streets, and he was putting out music, and Dipset was still hot. So it is what it is with that situation. And I think Yandy did too much bragging about, oh yeah, did you get your ring and all this other stuff back in the day, but that was old news. You guys are brand new people. And basically Chrissy was like, well, if you can just go back to the Yandy you was 8 years ago, it'll be cool. I think Chrissy was saying that 8 years ago, that Yandy, that we had a friendship, that we had a relationship, that we had respect for each other, if we can go back to that. But Yandy's taking it as shade, that she is saying that go back to that do girl, go back to being a manager, go back to being yes sir, amen, to Jim Jones and Chrissy. Like, because at one point in time, Chrissy had financially more money than Yandy because she was tied to Jim Jones. And so now Yandy is, people are saying Yandy got more money than Jim Jones. So it is what it is. What do you guys think about that situation? So Yandy was like, I can't go back to 8 years ago. I'm matured. I would never go back to that girl. And basically Yandy's very offended by the situation. And she was like, that's not going to happen. I was just like, damn. And she was like, no, you didn't want to see my glow up. You didn't like the glow up. You didn't like I was doing. You was telling me that I wasn't going to be nothing. I ain't going to blow up and all this other stuff. And so basically Yandy is saying, I didn't see that on camera, but when they were on the show together, but Yandy is saying that Chrissy downed her, and Chrissy wasn't very positive towards her glow up, or positive towards her career actually shooting to the stores, baby. So it is what it is with these two ladies. And at the end of the day, Chrissy says you can still get slapped. And I was like, She was like, you know how to really piss me off. And Yandy don't want it with Chrissy, because Chrissy can, Chrissy will fight. And she's from, the streets, and she grew up very hard. But Yandy be at that gym working out all the time, baby. You seen her cousin was training her when Mendices was out here in these streets, and Mendice wanted to fight her cousin. So I don't know what's gonna go on that situation, but they could have made up. But it ain't for Chrissy to be there to make up with Yandy, because it's about drama, baby. And Chrissy ain't being fake with Yandy. She just wants an apology. She felt like Yandy was doing way too much, and Yandy feels like Chrissy basically got her job taken away from her, took money out of her mouth, and then on top of that, basically wanted her to be submissive to her. And Yandy was like, nah, this ain't gonna happen. So they both have a different perspective of what the other one feels, and it is what it is. I was like, so they ain't gonna get along. And Yandy was like, well, I'll never be that girl again. Yandy also feels like, like she was a nothing back then. You was doing your thing. That was the hustle in you. That was the struggle. You was dealing with Chrissy. You was dealing with Jim. You was dealing with Dipset. You was dealing with the industry. You was doing the music. I mean, that's how you got your grind, baby. But she feels like only part of that Chrissy is addressing is her working and being their manager and doing this and doing that for them. So anyways, it is what it is between them. And so Chrissy and Kimbella meet up. And they're having a conversation. They talking about what's good, and we find out that Chrissy is doing investment, and she got a business thing situation going on. I was like, for real. At first, she was like, I meet her with a group of women, and basically we put money together. I was like, okay. I thought it was a pyramid scam, but it's not. So I was like, okay. So Kimbella and Chrissy meets up, and Chrissy's just telling her about, she's making some money in the real estate gang. Baby, you can make some money out there in New York. You better call up Mark Daly and see what's up. And Jonathan comes through too, and it seems like Kimbella basically is going to forgive Jonathan, but it ain't gonna last long, because at the end of the day, she thinks Jonathan is shady, and Jonathan loyalty lies with Yandy and only Yandy for right now. Chrissy is there, and basically she's glowing. She looks like she's happy, but a lot of people are saying Chrissy's broken, she's poor, and this is her last hold on to, getting any money, getting any bags or whatever. So it is what it is. People gonna say what they gonna say about you, but Chrissy basically saying she's doing real estate and she got dough. If Jim ain't out here making music, she's making money, because Chrissy is a hustler. She's from the streets, and she knows how to make money. She knows how to make deals, and then she's also a smart woman too as well. But she's very rough around the edges. She hasn't, gotten sweeter or nicer. She still got that tough, rowdy back in the 90s, New York attitude, like, like like everybody is going to take what you say and run with it. They gonna tell you, you better back down, you better watch who you talking to. You talking to aggressive, and Chrissy is kind of aggressive with her conversations, but it's all from a loving place. Like, she's not aggressive, mad, aggressive, this and that. She just got that New York attitude, like, yo, this is just how it is. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. And a lot of people can't handle the realness of somebody telling them how they feel, even though sometimes she should not tell everybody how she feels, but she does. And they talk about Yandy. Jonathan comes through, and he said that he done met up with, Chrissy or whatever, but his loyalty lies with none other than Yandy. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And then Chrissy brought up the situation with her and Yandy, and basically she was like, Yandy was, basically, doing too much, checks this, checks, and bragging and telling Jim what to do, or he can't buy this, or acting like, she got total control because she knows our money, because you guys are filming together, so she knows more details, and so she's gonna say some of the stuff on camera, because you got a business relationship, and then a business relationship on TV, and then a friendship. So Yandy got too comfortable, and Yandy was young too as well, and Chrissy got that attitude like, yo, you taking advantage, son, you violated, and that's how she felt. And then she tried to get Yandy and beat her up, but it didn't happen. And so Jonathan saying it's not that, she was trying to help you. She was just basically, she also thinks that you don't like her glow up. You don't like, you wanted her to be beneath y'all, like you want her to be a servant to y'all, and it is what it is. But Jonathan does apologize to Kimbella, so that's how Yandy feels. And then Chrissy got her own feelings. If they could rewind the tape and watch it, maybe they would see where one another was wrong. But then we get to the messiness. Oh boy, let me tell you, Sin Santana is not feeling Erica Mena whatsoever. Basically, she's cracking and laughing at Erica Mena, especially when Safaree's getting caught out there with all the women, and basically a lady named Gabby, she's from Love and Hip Hop Miami, and he proposed to both of them at the same damn time, and they're laughing, calling Erica Mena a chicken, making all types of sounds and noises. I was like, damn, Sin Santana ain't over Erica Mena and the way that she treated her. I was like, oh shit. I was like, what's going on? And also, Sin is kind of upset with the situation, because Joe want to own up to his cheating, and she ain't gonna deal with him cheating, being out here in these streets. She ain't trying to have that type of situation. And then her and Rich Dollars are cool. They come together, and they both don't have no love for Erica Mena. And he was like, I don't know. I tried to shake her hand. She wouldn't shake my hand, and all this other stuff. And he said that Safaree is desperate, and that's why he's marrying Erica Mena, because he so desperately want to get married. It almost seemed like he was insinuating that Safaree was desperate and getting married so he can secure a reality TV bag more, because he has to have some substance to him. He just can't be laughing and sitting and smiling, because the shit get old. So Rich Dollar was like, she wouldn't even shake my hand. And then And basically he's laughing and he's talking about, Safaree cheating and Erica Mena being passed around. I was like, oh, what? Boy, they were sitting at that table hating. And Yandy's talking about, like, I don't know what's going on with Erica Mena. She looks weird. She wouldn't even talk to us. She wouldn't even look at us. The way, like, she looked like, she was a statue. She looked like something was wrong with her. I was like, blink your eyes if you're okay, Erica. Blink your eyes. It's not, Erica is not messing with you. She got beat up behind you. And then you turn around and said you wasn't gonna work with her and all that other shit. So it is what it is. So Yandy is shitting on, they're all sitting there at the table shitting on Erica Mena and making fun of her too as well. Basically, if you're okay, let's make chicken sounds, let's make hood sounds, cluck 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 sounds. I was like, yo, you guys are sitting at this table being shady then whatever. I was just like, OMG. They was just laughing at Sin. I was like, oh, that's so wrong. They're laughing at I mean, Sin and Yandy and Rich Dollars just sitting there laughing. And then also, Yandy's talking about Chrissy, like, she ain't feeling Chrissy, she don't like Chrissy, she hasn't seen her, she got this attitude or whatever. They just jealous because I'm not the same person anymore. I'm not gonna be the same person. She tried to say, oh, won't you go back to that girl you was 8 years ago? Yandy was like, I knew you a decade ago, baby. I was like, Yandy, they're doing way too much. Like, y'all still really that mad? Like, damn, don't life go on? Remy Ma's at her photo shoot, she looks beautiful, she's doing the damn thing, baby. And then on top of that, Fat Joe's there and telling her she needs to get her back. She needs to do what she's supposed to do. Work on that music. Work on this. Do that. People ain't gonna wait for you. You got your fans. Like, come on. There's African women out here with babies on two breasts, one in the stomach, one in the stroller, and one strapped to their back. Remy, you can do it. I was like, who the hell you think you are? I'm like, you better take your ass over there and go help your son. Go help Ryan, because Ryan's out here embarrassing your legacy on TV. Go check him out. You should block him from being on TV. Help him with his music and his attitude, and please put him in like an institution to get some help, like a nice little rehab facility for mental, verbal, and drug abuse. I was like, and so Remy, she starts to cry and everything. I felt bad for Remy. And I was like, damn, she's a brand new mother again. We have I keep saying Sin. We have, Erica Mena and, Safaree or chilling, and they meet up, they're talking, they're having a conversation, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And Erica Mena is trying to get Joe and Joe and Safaree back together. I was like, damn, I keep thinking, because Joe has been rocking with Sin for so long, and it's just like, damn, Saharee's here. If anybody deserves to enjoy the fruits of Joe's work, is Safaree. Like, she's been down there, but she said she didn't want it. She said she didn't want it. She said she didn't want the wedding special. She didn't want all the stuff that Sin is obtaining right now with Joe, even though he's cheating. So we're gonna see. So she's basically telling Erica Mena she needs to get a prenup, girl. Get a prenup and take care of your business, and make sure you trust him to the fullest before you end up in a relationship with him like that. So I was just like, So it's going down like that, baby. I was like, okay, Erica looking good, pregnant. She got her baby out and everything like that. So we'll see what happens with this situation. And, people might say, Safaree, need to mind your business about a prenup and stuff like that. But if you actually somebody's friend, you're supposed to give them the heads up if they're thinking about getting married and they have a lot to lose or whatever. So, but people are saying Safaree has more money than Erica Mena, so she shouldn't be worried about a prenup. I don't know if that's true. You guys tell me what you think about that situation. I was like, it's going down. I was like, go ahead, Safaree. I remember watching Safaree and Joe's reality TV show before it was even on a network. They used to upload videos to the internet, and it wasn't even a YouTube back then. And I was just like, damn, they were so interesting, and you wanted them to work out, even though they're very toxic for each other, but at the same time they understand each other and they love each other. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be with that situation. And so we get Yandy, Jonathan, and Sin, and Kimbella, and basically Jonathan is being nice to Kimbella, talking about her hair looks nice. It's so nice to see you not wear synthetic hair. I was like, damn, that's cold, Jonathan. Why are you talking about her hair? You know her man's locked up. You know she's going through foreclosure too as well. You know what I'm saying? She's having a situation too. So it's going to be, he was like, oh, look, he liked her spandex suit. But when she walked away, he said her spandex suit was ugly. So Jonathan is mad shady. I wouldn't trust Jonathan as far as I can throw him, baby, because he is shady, shady, shady. I was just like, oh no. And then we got Jonathan, basically, he just sitting there, and and they're kind of like getting at Kimbella, because it's like, since when are you friends, with Chrissy like that and stuff like that? Because Sin brought up that Chrissy and Jim, or actually, going through foreclosure and all that other situation. So it is what it is. And Yandy pulls out and started reading the blogs or whatever. And then Yandy, they said he started to go into foreclosure and he wasn't paying his mortgage back in 2010. And Yandy was like, that's the right around time I stopped managing him. So therefore, Yandy is saying if I was still his manager, he wouldn't be broke. And I was doing the right thing. I was doing my right job. Now he got people in his ear that he ain't even paying his bills, because she was there so she would know. But for her to say that the reason why he ain't paying his bills because she ain't there, I don't know if Jim Jones got another manager, but he did say later on that his manager burnt him or wasn't making sure that the bills was paid. So it's going down, baby. So Yandy is saying, see, I told you so. I was doing right by you, Chrissy. But I think Chrissy understands that. But she said just the way that Yandy was, boasting about it in front of people that shouldn't know their personal relationship with Jim and Yandy out here on Love and Hip Hop, New York back then. And so right now, they dog Kimbella out. That was like, Jonathan was like, oh, you so besties with her. Are you scared that she's gonna stump on your neck again, Jonathan? They dogged her. They was dogging her. He was like, are you scared of her? Are you afraid? And she's like, what? And like they are being so shady towards Kimbella. It's just so messed up. And Jonathan's cracking on her, and it's just basically, Kimbella was like, I ain't your friend no more. Like, she's my friend, but you ain't really my friend. And Yandy was like, how is she your friend? Like, she mollywopped you since when? And she was like, and Yandy was like, why am I not your friend? And she was like, yeah, kids play together, but it seems like Kimbella need a storyline too as well. And plus, she don't like the fake shit that, they're talking about her negative. They're talking about Chrissy, and Chrissy hasn't been on camera talking negative about, with Jonathan and stuff like that, and sitting at the table, even when, Chrissy was talking to Kimbella and she was talking to Jonathan, she wasn't all that negative about, Yandy. And so now Kimbella is realizing that Jonathan is fake. He's not her friend, and his apology was bull crap. And basically she feels a certain type of way because he's supposed to be Chrissy's friend and he ain't, defending her or saying anything. Jonathan's loyalty is always going to be with Yandy until the next woman come along that he can make money off of, make money with, which first was K. Michelle. Now he got Yandy as the bestie. So next, if he find another woman he can make money off of, and she don't get along with Yandy, then he's gonna move on and move forward. So yes, they were being shady like a mother sucker. I was like, damn. That was like, since when you been friends? I was like, yo, I mean, this was real. And then they talk about, the mansion being foreclosed, and she was reading it, Kimbella got up and she walked away, and Jonathan was so shady. And then we have, Christy, she finds out that the house is in foreclosure, but she hasn't been there the 3 to 4 years, so she don't even know what's going on. She's calling Jim because she's telling Jim, I'm a real estate development. I do property management. I'm real estate. I got a group of women that support me. I got a business. I'm the face of the brand, and then I'm going into foreclosure. Who's going to want to give their money to me? Who's going to want to invest? And Jim was like, I'm sorry, I should have told you. The accountants wasn't paying the money. The manager wasn't making sure this was getting done or whatever. Jim stopped paying in 2010. So that means he was living rent free, scot free. And I don't know if he was paying the lights, and I know the lights and the gas got cut off, the water got shut off or whatever. So he wasn't paying the bill at all, because they felt like the house was a loss, because when they tried to refinance the house, it was worth nothing to refinance it to get money back. And basically the house was like 1 point something, then it get foreclosed for $100, and then the mortgage is way too much. So it is what it is. He didn't pay his bills. He was out there doing that toot toot boot boot, running from the police. And Remy Ma basically is going through the damn thing. She's trying to get it together, baby. But rapping and doing music at the same time is hard, and it's just difficult. She's trying to get it together. She's telling Papoose, I need you more. Basically, he said, I put my career and everything on hold for you, baby, too, as well. I'm going to support you. I'm going to get the album done. You're everything to me. And basically it helps Remy a little bit. But he was like, I put my career and everything on hold for my family. And Remy Ma basically is just stressing because she has the pressure of the label on her to put out music, and she has to put out the right music. You can't put out bubblegum and twerking music because that's not her style. She's a lyricist. And then we get Joe. He goes over there to, Safaree and Erica Mena, a little, close party before they get married, because they're going to get married, baby. They're going to do the damn, they got a baby on the way. Joe comes through looking like he's from Friends. He comes through like he's Uncle Sanford. I was like, excuse me. So, but at the meantime, in between time, Safaree's really trying to get Erica Mena to actually go through and make sure she finds out about a prenup or whatever. And Safaree's not going to like that, point blank, period. And Erica Mena is trying to get Joe and Safaree back together because they are friends, baby. And they talk every now and then. And we find out that Joe called Tahari to let her know that he was going to be getting engaged to Sin. And earlier, that's when Erica Mena said that he called you to see if you was going to stop him. So they going to talk, on a later time. They get close, and then Tahari, she shakes her ass on Joe. And Tahari says she don't know if she wants to be back with Joe or not. And we have Chrissy, she jumps in the car with this. I mean, she jumps in the whip. She jumps in the Bentley. She jumps in, I don't know if it was a Bentley, but she jumps in the car and they just chilling. And basically she's about to get in trouble because she's the brand of the of the organization that she works for, and she's not really explaining it. Jim just didn't pay the damn bills. That was it, and she didn't have nothing to do with him paying the bills because she hasn't been there the 3 to 4 years. But he still stopped paying in 2010. It was the luxury lifestyle that they was living. But allegedly, Jim Jones says that he was gonna let the house go because he got other houses that wasn't his own house. So it is what it is. It looks bad. It looks bad for the whole situation where people are saying that Chrissy and Jim are basically just dead broke and it's down that last limb, and that's why they on this show. The house sold for $100, but that house was the party house, the get down house, the everything house. So it is what it is. I was just like, damn. So what do you guys think about so far? We're going to see what's going to happen because we see that there's going to be some relationship that ain't going to be kindled. And it's going to be a whole lot of drama coming up in the mix. So you guys tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Much love.